This is Knife. It is an easy rated Linux box on Hack the Box. To start, we're given the IP of 10.10.10.242, which I've already ran an Nmap scan on. I use the switch SV for service version, SC for default scripts, and it reveals that port 22 is running SSH and port 80 is running HTTP. Let's take a look at that HTTP first. Port 80 and scrolling, we can't really do much. These buttons don't appear to be working. First thing we're going to take a look at is directories, and to do that we can take advantage of dirbuster, or I generally prefer FFUF. I'll show both methods here. We could specify the URL, port 80-L for the word list, and I used medium.txt. I'll show you what that looks like. We can put in HTTP 10.10.10.242 port 80. It will take quite some time to run. The alternative is going to be FFUF, where -u specifies the URL. Fuzz is where we are going to be fuzzing for directories. -w is the word list. I use seclists. That does not come pre-installed on Kali Linux. If you do want that, it's sudo apt install seclists. And we filtered for 200 responses and 302 redirects, use 10 threads. So we do get some results from those scans. They do take some time to run. Unfortunately, they're not helpful in pushing us forward at all. So I did open up Burp Suite so we can take a look at the headers. I'm interested in finding out the version of whatever is running this web application. So let's start it up here. Go to proxy, intercept on, open up the browser, 10.10.10.242. So this is the request that we were able to capture. Let's send it over to repeater, and we can send in order to see the response. So we do get back that this is a PHP application running 8.1.0-dev. This is quite important, and we will need that. The other way that we can check is actually going to be under inspect, and it'll be under network if we resend this request. Click here under headers, same information, a different way of getting it. Let's take a look at vulnerabilities here. So there's a GitHub link, remote code execution, backdoor. Interesting, the one that I used was this script right here. There's a backdoor PHP script and a reverse shell. The backdoor did not end up working for me, so I'll just go ahead and download the reverse shell script right here. The README, let's see how we execute this. Rev shell, target, attacker, attacker port. And let's do Python 3, rev shell, target, IP, my address, and 9001. We do need to open up a Netcat listener before we execute, so nc lvnp on 9001. So now we're listening on my machine. Let's execute the script now. Great. So we have the reverse shell. We can list where we're at. Let's cd into home. Let's get that root flag first. Cd into James and cat user.txt. Great. Let's cd back to root. First thing that I immediately checked was misconfigured sudo privileges. So to check what we can run as sudo as a standard user, we could do sudo-l. And it is revealed that there's a command called knife located in user bin that we can run as James with sudo privileges. So that is an opportunity for privilege escalation. Let's cd. And let's do knife-help. How do we use this command? And initially I got stuck in a rabbit hole where I tried to create a user and then promote that user to admin. My thinking was we can create a user, an admin user, and use that to connect to the SSH port that we saw that was open before. Either something was not set up properly, or it just did not end up working. So knife is a command that belongs to the Chef management tool application. So if we look up Chef knife, about knife. So what I did was I scrolled through this website and I just looked for more information on what this does exactly, and I did end up finding out that it is a Ruby application. So there's another command that we have access to, and that's going to be exec. So we can execute commands. Remember, we can use sudo, so we can sudo knife exec and then a script, ideally open up a shell. Originally, I tried opening up a reverse Ruby shell. So I have this handy reverse shell cheat sheet. Ruby, because it's a Ruby application, I tried a bunch of different variations of these. Did not have any luck, but the answer is much, much simpler. So we can just execute a sudo knife exec -e to specify the script, and we can do exec. So we are going to open up a shell because we're running sudo, it'll open up as root, and we need to specify where the location of the default shell, which is under bin sh. And if we execute this, we can do who am I, and we're root. So let's cd into and cat root.txt, and that is the root flag.